One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours, it will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure, we will be sure. Oh, glory, glory, glory. Oh.
Hands to the heavens, no man, no weapon formed against, yes, glory is destined. Everyday women and men become legends. Sins that go against our skin become blessings. The movement is a rhythm to us. Freedom is like religion to us. Justice is juxtaposition in us. Justice for all just ain't specific enough. One son died, his spirit is revisiting us. True and living in us. Resistance is us. That's why.
Hello, I'm Tom Hudson, a concerned citizen from Columbia, and I'm honored to lend my voice in supporting passage of meaningful hate crime legislation in our state. It's said that the only thing necessary for evil to prevail is for good people to do nothing. Well, now is the time for all people of goodwill, for you and for me, to do something. Enacting this long-needed legislation will send a clarion call that hate has no home in South Carolina. Our state seal bears the familiar words, Dum Spiro Spero, while I breathe, I hope. On its reverse, the seal provides yet another message, translated as prepared in mind and resources. If we are to truly and lastingly prepare the minds and provide the resources for each and every South Carolinian, if hate indeed has no home here, we must view our path forward with the eyes of equity, work together with hands of social justice, and respond resoundingly with hearts too filled with hope to hate. I believe that with such hope, together we can breathe life into this vital legislation for the generations to come. It's the right thing to do. It's past the time to do it. And now, it's up to us. Thank you.
Hey everyone, this is State Representative Marvin Pendarvis, House District 113 here in North Charleston. I'm reaching out today because I want to get everyone excited and to endorse the Caravan of Love, Not Hate tour that'll begin here in Charleston this weekend. The reason why this is so important is because South Carolina is one of 3 states that does not currently have hate crime legislation on the books. And my dear friend and colleague, Representative Ivory Thigpen, in conjunction with the organization Building Better Communities out of Columbia, have partnered with this tour and are going across the state to show the importance of passing hate crime legislation in the state of South Carolina. And so I endorse it, I support it, and I look forward to you all supporting it as well. Again, this is State Representative Marvin Pendarvis, House District 113.
Hello, I'm Reggie Burgess, the Chief of Police for the City of North Charleston. The state of South Carolina is one of 3 states that does not have a hate crime bill. That needs to change. The Caravan of Love will be leaving the Emmanuel Church on Calhoun on this Sunday, headed to the State House in Columbia. We need to support the Caravan of Love. State Representative Thigpen contacted me and asked if the City of North Charleston Police Department would be a part of this great adventure. And I say adventure because he knows as well as I know, it's a whole lot of work to get this bill passed and signed. But we can do it. This state I love so much. I believe in the state of South Carolina. And as the Chief of Police, I believe in protecting all citizens. Anti-Semitism was explained to me in a personal manner when I met with Ms. Anita Zucker and Jonathan Zucker in 2018. They spoke with me for a good while and supported me on becoming the Chief of Police in 2018. And they explained to me how they felt about anti-Semitism. I myself have witnessed anti-Semitism. I received a call from a citizen stating that there was an anti-Semitic sign placed on this power box in the city of North Charleston. So as a police officer, I investigated that. This is what I found. This should not happen in our community. We are better than that. So I support the state representatives and all the people who feel that they have no rights. We need to get a hate crime bill passed. Please support the Caravan of Love. God bless.
I support the hate crime law in South Carolina because everyone deserves to feel safe in their own home.
Greetings. I am Reverend Eric Fink, pastor of Living Springs Lutheran Church. I give thanks to God for this Caravan of Love today. I pray that God might work through this event to further move our state officials to finally pass hate crime legislation for our state. As a people, our laws should reflect the values we hold dear, and it is a tragedy that we have no law which clearly says we value all people, and that actions of hatred directed toward anyone on the basis of race, orientation, gender are never acceptable or never reflective of our values as a people. For any of us to say, I personally do not hate on such basis is not enough when we remain silent in the face of such ongoing crimes of hatred in our communities. We must not be silent. Our state's laws must not be silent when it comes to crimes motivated by such hatred. May this Caravan of Love today help break such deafening silence for our state, for generations to come. Reverend Eric Fink, Living Springs Lutheran Church.
Dr. Darren Davis, Superintendent, Richland School District 2. South Carolina, come on, let's do our part. Let's join the other 47 states in passing hate crime laws. A bill is needed, a law is needed to protect all of our citizens. No one should be a victim.
I support a hate crime law in South Carolina because I feel that our state should care about the safety of Black lives and minorities.
I support the passage of a hate crime law in South Carolina because, frankly, it's 2020 and hate crime doesn't belong here.
I support a hate crime law in South Carolina because no one should have to live in fear of being attacked over any aspect of their identity.
South Carolina needs a hate crime law because those targeted or affected by hate crimes deserve justice. Hate is a poison and those who act on it must be punished.
I support a hate crime law in South Carolina because Black people and minorities shouldn't have to suffer from injustice from hate crimes anywhere. And in order for that to happen, South Carolina needs to make a change.
Hi, my name is Jared Knotts and this is my wife, Katina. And we want to talk about hate crime legislation in South Carolina. Do you know that hate crime legislation is not about punishing people for their belief or speech, but it's about punishing people for their criminal actions?
The federal government in 46 states have enacted hate crime laws that enhance penalties for an underlying crime. And South Carolina is one of the states that do not have legislation in place for this horrendous act.
As a native South Carolinian, I want to say South Carolina is time to take action. No one should be victimized because of how they look or who they are. Let's work together to implement a strong hate crime legislation for the state of South Carolina. Thank you.
South Carolina is one of the 4 states in America that does not have hate crime laws. Call your legislator to ensure that minorities can live in peace.
I support the hate crime law in South Carolina in order to dismantle the policies that enable systemic racism. Black, Indigenous, and people of color are disproportionately affected by hate crimes, and these crimes should be persecuted to the highest extent of the law.
What's going on? This is Bakari Sellers, a CNN political commentator and former member of the South Carolina State House of Representatives. I'm here to support my good friend Ivory Thigpen. You know, today is the Caravan of Love, and although we can't be there physically, or I can't be there physically, I'm reminded of not what this state was or what it is, but what it can be. Our state's been ripped apart because of hate, and whether or not it was February 8th, 1968 in Orangeburg, South Carolina, where Henry Smith, Samuel Hammond, and Delano Middleton were killed while they were protesting what the history books call the last vestige of discrimination, or whether or not it was Charleston, South Carolina in 2015, where I lost my good friend Clemente Pinckney. And so why I appreciate Reverend Representative Ivory Thigpen and why I appreciate his efforts is that he believes in that great scripture that says faith without works is dead. And so I'm here joining you in spirit because after the coronavirus allows us to be great again, we'll be here lifting up our voices in unison. And so thank you. God bless you all. Please continue to pray. Please continue to work and put forth the effort so our great state, once again, can, in the words of Abraham Lincoln, we can be a part of the better angels of our nature. Thank you and God bless you all.
I support the hate crime law in South Carolina because I believe the purpose of the law is to protect the people by establishing justice, security, and freedom. The hate crime law will ensure that those who commit a crime fueled by hate towards a specific group are rightfully disciplined for their actions.
Living in South Carolina as a Black girl, there's a high chance I may face a hate crime. I could face it as I'm walking down the street, as I'm going to the grocery store, or even my own workplace. But although there's a high chance that I may face a hate crime, that does not mean that there has to be a high chance for these crimes to go unpunished. Knowing that South Carolina does not have a hate crime law in place right now truly disheartens me. I love my state, but until South Carolina has a hate crime law, I feel as if my state does not truly love me.
I support the hate crime law passing in South Carolina because no one deserves to live in fear, and this is a major step in making sure that hate crime is handled in the right manner.
I support a hate crime law in South Carolina because without it, the state would simply be ignoring the issue of minorities being targeted through violence. Therefore, justice cannot adequately be served, and there will not be adequate protection for minorities in the state.
South Carolina needs a hate crime law because people who do hate crimes normally get let off easily with a felony charge or a lesser charge. We need to enforce justice to protect those in danger.
Hi, my name is Beth Bernstein. I serve in the South Carolina House of Representatives. I represent House District 78 right here in Columbia, and I'm thrilled to be able to participate in the Caravan of Love, Not Hate campaign. I'm so excited about all of you who are participating in this campaign, all of you who are traveling from Charleston through Orangeburg to Columbia to fight for South Carolina to enact hate crime legislation. We are only one of 3 states in the nation that has no hate crime legislation on its books, which effectively means that South Carolina is not protecting its citizens from crimes committed because of some bias based upon race, religion, gender, sexual orientation. This is unacceptable, and we need to rectify this now. We need your voice. Your voice matters. Please contact your legislator or senator and tell them the time is now to enact hate crime legislation. We need your help. Representative Gilliard needs your help. Representative Thigpen needs your help. We are working hard to get this done, and I know we will because people like you are making a difference. Your voices are being heard. So thank you. Continue with your passion. Continue with your advocacy, because crimes committed because of some bias, because of hate, are wrong. And South Carolina needs to protect its citizens and say, we are better than that. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Leroy Ravenel here in Orangeburg County.
And I am Director Chandra McPherson Gibbs, Director of the Victim Services Division here at the Orangeburg County Sheriff's Office. The Caravan of Love represents everything that is great about our state. It represents the fact that we are working together, that we are embracing change, and that we are a community and we are a state that loves each other. We want to congratulate, we want to support Representative Thigpen in his efforts in bringing us together for collective change.
To my friend, Representative Thigpen, congratulations and thank you.
I feel as though South Carolina should have hate crime laws because it is unacceptable for us to refuse to recognize the malicious intent of these crimes against these groups of people that deserve to be protected.
I believe that South Carolina should have a hate crime law because everyone deserves to feel safe.
Hi, I'm
We support the Hate Crime Bill 30.63. Everyone has the right to live in an unbiased, non-threatening environment. Our country and state is more diverse than ever before. For those of you who took an oath to serve and to protect, we want you to know hate is malicious and you will be held accountable.
Hi, my name is Hayden, and I support the hate crime law because at school, you get in trouble for committing a hate crime. But what hoops are we willing to go through for people outside of school? When I grow up, who's going to stick up for me if I can't stick up for myself? If someone's committing a hate crime, what are we going to do to stop it? Are we going to stick up for others? Or are we going to sit idly by and watch it happen? Thank you.
Hi, this is State Representative Wendell Gilliard. I'm here today to tell you about the Caravan of Love. We're here to support the caravan. We are on board this train. Okay, so I would like to congratulate Representative Thigpen for keeping the movement alive. The hate crime bill is definitely on track. I feel strongly, me and my team, by working with all organizations, all people, all creeds and color, that this will now come to fruition. The hate crime bill, believe me, it's on the right track. I want to thank Representative Thigpen for what he's doing and welcome aboard the Caravan of Love. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Dr. Ivory Thigpen, South Carolina State Representative, House District 79, Richland County. And I'm here today to encourage your support for hate crime legislation in South Carolina. Dr. Martin Luther King was noted as saying, "Our lives begin to end when we are silent on the things that matter. For in the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends." And my friends, we have been silent way too long. For South Carolina is only one of 3 states out of 50 that does not have hate crime legislation at the state level. So it is time for us to raise our voices. It is time for us to bring awareness. And many persons from across the state are now coming together to lift up this great need so that every South Carolinian, regardless of their race, regardless of their color, regardless of their orientation, or any other thing that would alienate them, but that all South Carolinians will be provided the assurances and protections that they need, and that hate has no home in South Carolina. I'm reminded, and I close with the quote from Margaret Mead, who says, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful and committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, they are the only ones who ever have." So I'm calling out to all of the thoughtful and committed citizens of South Carolina. Let us bring awareness. Let us provide protections, hate crime legislation for all of South Carolina.
Hey, this is State Representative Cambrell Garvin, serving the people of Northeast Columbia and Blythewood at the State House. I am so thrilled to be able to bring a few brief remarks. First of all, allow me to say thank you to Building Better Communities for just all of their many efforts over the past few years to really do as their name says, and that's build better communities. And secondly, thank you to each and every one of you all for being here on today. As you all are well aware, the state of South Carolina has yet to pass a hate crime bill. It is past time that our General Assembly have the political and moral courage to do what's right. The question that I want to pose on today is, what will it take? Will it take another massacre of innocent lives in order for us to finally do what's right? I certainly hope not. So thank you again for being here. My name is Representative Cambrell Garvin, and I am just truly honored to be able to bring remarks. Take care.
Hello, I'm pleased to join with Reverend Thigpen to launch this Caravan of Love, Not Hate program. I applaud him for seeking to get the state of South Carolina to join with the vast majority of other states in declaring certain events as hate crimes. My understanding is that we are one of only 2 or 3 states that have not done so. The fact of the matter is, our history dictates that we ought to join in doing something about hate crimes. We have experienced Emmanuel and its aftermath. We've experienced Walter Scott's unnecessary loss of life, both of which were hate crimes. Now, some people argue that we don't need to do anything, that there are enough laws on the books. That may be true. But sometimes you need to do something just so that people will know that you're part of the effort to keeping certain things in their proper perspective. And that's the way we do with laws. It's the way we do with many other things. So as he embarks upon this effort, I would hope that others would join in and that we would do what is necessary to make South Carolina one of the larger community to say, hate is not the way of the future. Love is fundamental in which all things are made possible.
BBC will be hosting their Caravan of Love, Not Hate Labor Day weekend on September 6th, 12 o'clock. For more information, you can reach out to BBC at www.bbconline.org.
Hello, my name is Tyler, and I support a hate crime law in South Carolina because hate crimes send a message of fear and terror based on the foundation of bigotry. When a person is targeted because of his or her identity, community members who share that identity may feel unsafe and threatened. We cannot tolerate hate crimes in South Carolina. No one should have to feel scared when they are going to church, their place of worship, stores, or even running in their own neighborhoods. You have to be able to relate. Just put yourself in someone else's shoes. If you can sit down and watch what they're going through, then you will want to help them achieve all that they can achieve so that they can live comfortably. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Nail, and I serve as the Community Relations Director for the Columbia Jewish Federation. Our Jewish Community Relations Council and I have been advocating for hate crimes legislation in South Carolina for the last 5 years. Why? Because every single person in our state deserves the right to be safe from hate. When a hate crime is committed, it's not just the victim who suffers, but also the victim's entire community. South Carolina needs to stamp out hate. Call your legislators and tell them to pass a hate crimes bill. Only then will we ensure a hate-free SC.
Hi, I'm State Senator John Scott. Let me say how important this upcoming election is and how important it is for you to vote. If you have not already mailed in your application for your absentee ballot, please do it now. If you're unable to go to the polls, please vote absentee. This election is so important to the future generation to come. This election is so important to protecting our democracy. This election is about change, real leadership, someone who will bring this country back together and end the destruction I've seen all across the United States. It is time now for us, as citizens of South Carolina and the United States, to get a president, one who is demonstrate true leadership and one who will move us forward. So I'm asking you to go to the polls and vote. Vote for Biden and Harris for President and Vice President of the United States of America. Vote on November the 3rd. Thank you so much.